Hey everyone, welcome. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to build an interactive 3D quiz game on Hatch. So I have the final project open here. Let's take a look at what the final output is going to be, okay? How the final project that you will be coding will work. So this game that I have here has two characters. As you can see, I have this Minecraft Steve here. That's you in the game, that's me in the game. And there is this Spider-Man character. So the game starts by clicking on the green play button. So when I click on the green play button here.
Welcome, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel Comics quiz?
So you can see that when I clicked on the green play button, both the characters waved at each other and then Spider-Man asked whether we are ready for the quiz and type yes to continue. And you can see this text box appear here where I can type my answer. So if I type yes.
What is the real name of the original Spider-Man?
This Spider-Man character keeps asking us more and more questions. So he's asking right now one of the questions of the quiz. So this quiz I've created using some of the themes of Marvel Comics. So it is asking the very first question here. What is the real name of original Spider-Man? I know that that's Peter Parker. So I can type Peter Parker. And when I press send here.
Peter Parker. Right answer. Here's the next question. What's the name of Thor's hammer?
So you saw when I typed Peter Parker there, Steve here read out my answer aloud and then Spider-Man said whether my answer was right or wrong. And then he showed me the next question. So here, the second question here is, what's the name of Thor's hammer? So let's write a random name. So I'm going to say Jonathan. I know that's the wrong answer here, but let's give it a wrong answer and see what happens in the game. So I write Jonathan and I press enter.
Jonathan. Wrong answer. The right answer is Mjolnir. Here's the next question.
So you see, when I wrote the wrong answer, the Spider-Man there told me that my answer was wrong and he gave me the correct answer and then he asked me the next question. So this is the quiz game that we are going to be building. We are going to be building an interactive game where two characters will be speaking to each other and one of the characters is going to be asking questions to you and you have to write the correct answer, or if you write the wrong answer, then the character will tell you that you have written the wrong answer. Okay, so all right, let's start coding this game. Okay, so I'm going to just exit out of this game here, and this is I'm going to be adding the link of the final project in the description of the video as well, so you can have a look at the final game from the description. Okay, first of all, let's just start building this game by ourselves. So to start building this game by ourselves, it's really easy. You go to kids.hatchxr.com. If you are logged in as usual, you will be on your dashboard. If you're not logged in, you will be on the landing page. That's completely fine. You will be seeing the new projects button in both the situations. Okay, so click on the new projects button. And what we are going to do is we are going to start with an empty project template. All right, so let me close this previous tab of the completed game. And we are going to start with the empty project template. So click on empty project here. And you can see that this loads a blank 3D game template here. Okay, so let's first full screen my window. And now we can start building our game. So we'll first design the game. We are going to be covering design as well as coding in this session. So let's first design our game. Okay, so we'll go to our design tab. And once you're in the design section, let's create the design. So as you can see, by default, we have this box cube, this box here, sphere and cylinder, and the ground object, right? So let's delete all of these objects. So select your box and press the delete button on the keyboard. And similarly, delete your sphere, delete your cylinder, and now select your ground object from here and delete the ground object. You will see that you can't delete the player object. If you try to delete the player object will not get deleted. That's because player is you in the game. It's a representation of how you are going to be viewing the game. Okay, the camera here acts as your eyes. So whenever you are playing the game or whenever anybody else is playing your game, they are going to be seeing the game from this camera. Okay, so the camera acts as your eyes and the player is you in the game. All right, so we cannot delete yourself from the game. You need to be able to see the game from some point of view. So player represents you. That is why you cannot delete it. So let's first add an environment. Okay, so how do we add an environment? It's really simple. you click on this add 3D objects button and select the environments category from the bottom here. So click on this environments category and you will see that there are some environment components available here. So you can design your own environments, but for today I'm going to use a built-in template. So built-in templates are pre-prepared environments that we provide to you directly in Hatch. So you can click on this built-in templates option on the left side here, and now you can see that you have some pre-prepared environmental templates already present. Okay, you can add any of these environments. I'm going to add the forest environment, but you can add any of these environments that you want. So to add an environment, just click on the plus sign here, and you will see that environment, this forest environment, like here, forest environment is added into my game. Okay, you can even change your environment from the presets section in the properties panel. So when you select your environment object here, you can see in the properties panel the presets show you what environment you have added, and it gives you the option to change your environment directly from here as well. So I can change it to default environment, or I can change it to forest again, or I can change it to a gold mine environment, whatever you want. Let's go back to our forest. Okay, so now that our environment is added, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add a character for myself. Okay, so you saw that in the final output there were two characters. There was Minecraft Steve in front, right? And then there was a Spider-Man. So Spider-Man was asking question and Steve was a representation of yourself, right? So click on your player object here, and first of all what we will do is we are going to actually, let's first add the Minecraft Steve character. So let's click on this add 3D objects here, and this time what we will do is we are going to add a player avatar. So you can see there is this very last category on the bottom here. It's called player avatar, and you can click here and you can add any of these player avatars for yourself. So I'm going to add a Minecraft character. So you click on the plus sign here, and now you will see that a Minecraft character is added in our game. Okay, but you see that the camera and the Minecraft character here, both of them are on top of each other. The camera is literally on top of the Minecraft's head, right? Minecraft character's head. So what we will do is we are going to click on our camera object here on the left panel, and we are going to move it behind our Minecraft character. So select your camera object and change its position. So I know that this blue arrow indicates front and back direction for the camera, and if I want to move the camera, see, away from the Minecraft character here, you can see the Z position of the camera increasing, right? So let's just make the Z position of the camera 3 units. And now if I go to the code window, I can see how the game looks like from the camera's point of view. So I can see the Minecraft Steve character here, and all we need to do is we need to add the Spider-Man character. Okay, so let's go back to our design tab, and this time what we will do is we are going to add another Minecraft character and change. So you'll see, let me show you here. When you select your Minecraft avatar from here, you see in the properties panel there is this skin property. So you can decide how your player is going to look in the game. You have Iron Man, you have Minecraft Steve, you have Batman, Stevie, you have Poison Ivy, Wonder Woman. There are a lot more characters here. So you can decide how your character is going to look like. So for now, I'm just going to go with Steve here. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another Minecraft avatar. So what I can do is I can click on this add 3D objects again and go to player avatar and add another Minecraft avatar. So click on the plus sign here. And this time, you see it says Minecraft avatar 2. But I don't see another Minecraft avatar in my game. That's because all the Minecraft avatars are getting added in the same place. So currently, both of my Minecraft avatars, you see Minecraft avatar and Minecraft avatar 2, both of them are in the same position. What we can do is let's select our Minecraft avatar 2 from here and then move it forward in front of the first character. See? Now I can see that there are two Minecraft characters here, right? Simple. So now let's first of all change its name here, right? I want it to be a Spider-Man character. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots here, click on rename, and I'm just going to call it Spiderman. All right. So now that I'm calling it Spiderman, let's make this second character look like Spiderman. So again, in the properties of this Minecraft character, the skin property, if I go to the right side, you will see there is a Spiderman skin. So I click on Spiderman here, and you see now my second character looks like Spiderman, right? How cool is that? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move the Spiderman slightly in front. Let's make it Z position -4. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just move it slightly to the left side. So I'll make its X position 1. And now I'm just going to make the Spiderman face our Steve character. So to do that, I have to rotate the Spiderman. So what I'm going to do is, you see there is this below the position property, there is the rotation property of my Spiderman. And it says 0 in X, 0 in Y, and 0 in Z. I'm just going to increase the Y rotation. So you see this Y rotation, I'm going to increase this. I'm just, you see, when my mouse hovers over this input field here, it changes into this double arrow icon, right? So double arrow means I can now click and drag my mouse left and right, and you can see the value changing and Spiderman rotating as well. See? So this way you can just change the rotation of your Spiderman to whatever value I want. So I want it to look towards the Steve character. So I think this value is good enough. 162 is good enough. Okay. So we have set our scene. I have this Minecraft avatar and I have Spiderman. Okay. Let's call this Minecraft avatar Steve. So what I'm going to do is let's rename this Minecraft avatar. Click on the 3 dots here and rename, and I'm going to call it Steve. So I have Steve and I have Spiderman, 2 characters in my game. One thing I want to do here is if you go to the play tab, and now if you press the arrow keys on your keyboard, you will see that the Minecraft Steve, or player basically, moves in the game. But you see the Steve character is not having any walking animation. And if you press the arrow keys, if you press the jump button, if you press the space key on the keyboard, the player is also not jumping. It's just plainly moving front, back, left and right. Yeah, this is not a natural player's motion in a 3D game. So let's first also add a player motion property. So let's go to the design tab and select our player object. When you select your player object, you see the player properties appear here, and in the player properties there is this player motion property. So you see by default it's selected to free motion. Free motion means just moving front, back, left and right using the arrow keys. Okay, and then you have a property called none. None means your player will not be moving at all. There is a third property here called collide with surfaces. Collide with surfaces, let's see what this does. You click on collide with surfaces, don't change any other property here. And now let's go to the play tab. So now if you press the up, down, left and right arrow keys, you see your player is actually moving. Your Minecraft character is also having its walking, turning, all of these animations. And if you press the jump key, if you press the space key, the player also jumps. So collide with surfaces basically gives your player a realistic motion in the game. Okay, so for this game I'm going to use the player motion as collide with surface. All right, so let's go back to our design tab, and now, so since everything is set up here, then I just want to do one small thing. You see that there is this cursor object here, right? And the cursor is this black circle that you see. Okay, I don't need this black circle in the game. Okay, so for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this cursor invisible. We use this cursor we have used this cursor in a lot of other games, and there are uses of the cursor object, but the game that we are going to be building today has no need of this cursor object. So I just want to be able to look at the scene without this black circle hindering my vision. Okay, so let's go back to the design tab and go to the cursor object here, click on cursor, and you see there is this visible property that is selected by default. Okay, so if you remove this check mark from here, the cursor will become invisible. Okay, So now our design of this game is ready. This was all it for the design. We just needed to add 2 characters and we needed to add an environment. Alright, so now let's get started with the coding of the game, of building this quiz game. So let's go to the code window. Now you see, once the code window has loaded, you can see that the code editor here, the workspace, is empty because we don't have any code. Alright, so let's first start by adding some small interaction between the Minecraft Steve and the Spider-Man character. Okay, so as you saw, even in the final output, when we clicked on the green play button, both of these characters waved to each other, said hello, and then the game started, right? So let's first add that basic interaction. So what can we do there? How can we code that? So you see, we have this empty when green play button click block already in the editor, right? So what we can do here is, when the green play button is clicked, let's first make these 2 characters wave at each other. So I want Steve and Spider-Man to wave at each other. So you click on Steve here, and when you click on Steve here, you will see that there is a block called Steve wave hello for 1 second. Let's drag this out and place it here. Okay, and now when you click on the green play button, you see Steve character, you are waving to the Spider-Man. That's really simple. Similarly, now we can add Spider-Man wave hello. So you see, when you click on Spider-Man here, you see there is this block called Spider-Man wave hello for 1 second. So drag this block out, and after Steve waves hello, we can make Spider-Man wave hello back to him. So now when you click on the green play button, you will see Steve waves hello and then Spider-Man waves hello, right? Okay, so once the Spider-Man waves hello, we are going to make the Spider-Man ask us whether we are ready for the quiz. So we are going to make the Spider-Man say some introduction, like introduce himself to us, and then ask a question to us. Okay, so let's see how can we do that. So when you click on the Spider-Man character here on the left side, if you scroll down, you will see that there are these voice and speech blocks and this AI block. So there are these 3 blocks here, 3 purple blocks. We are going to be using these blocks a lot in our today's session. So the very first block says Spider-Man say hi for 1 second. What this block does is, when you use this block, let's drag this block out and attach it here, just after Spider-Man wave hello. So now you'll see, when you click on the green play button, both the characters wave hello, and then you saw the speech bubble appeared on top of Spider-Man. I'll show you again. I click on the green play button and see a speech bubble appeared on top of Spider-Man, and it was displaying this text, but there was no audio. So Spider-Man was not speaking. The say block only displays the speech bubble. It does not generate audio. Okay, so let's not use the say block. I want the game to be more interactive. So I'm going to use a different block. Click on Spider-Man here and scroll down now. So we use the say block, and we saw that say block was just generating the speech bubble with the text here. There is another block here that says translate and speak. Spider-Man translate and speak, how are you, in Japanese language with a female voice. Let's use this block. So I'm going to use this block and place it just after Spider-Man wave hello. So what does this block do? This block will translate this text. So you see it says translate and speak. Translate and speak, how are you, in Japanese language with a female voice. So you will see when I click on the green play button now, you see, how are you was translated to Japanese, and then Spider-Man spoke out that sentence how are you in Japanese in a female voice. Okay, so this block here, this translate and speak block, is generating the speech bubble, and it is also generating audio. It's making the Spider-Man say the words out loud. All right, so we can use this translate and speak block to make multiple characters talk to each other. Okay, so here you see there is this translate and speak, and also there is just a speak option. So if you don't want to translate any text, if you just want the characters to be speaking in English, then we can just use the speak option. So I'm just going to make this character speak in English for now. So Spider-Man speak, how are you, in and it says Japanese accent. So now you can control the accent of your character here in English. So the way Japanese people speak English is a Japanese accent, and then you see there are multiple accents here, multiple accents. Okay, so I'm just going to select English for now. So Spider-Man, speak how are you in English accent with what, a male or a female voice. So let's select a male voice for now. And now when you click on the green play button,
How are you?
you see Spider-Man spoke how are you in an English voice, in an English male voice. Okay, so this was simple. Now you can modify whatever text you want here. So I'm going to first of all make Spider-Man say, hi, I am Spider-Man. Okay, and let's see how does this work. So click on the green play button.
Hi, I am Spider-Man.
See, Spider-Man is speaking out, hi, I'm Spider-Man. So this works, right? So now we'll make Spider-Man ask if we are ready for the quiz and the type yes to answer, right? We'll make the Spider-Man ask us our first question. And our first question is going to be a very simple, are we ready for the quiz? All right. So to do that, let's go to our Spider-Man option again, Spider-Man block here. And if you scroll down now, so we use the say block and we used the translate and speak block. Now you'll see there is a third purple block that says Spider-Man ask how are you and store response, right? So this is the block that is going to make our interactive quiz game. So let's drag this block out and place it just after the Spider-Man speak. Now see what blocks do we have here? It's saying when the green play button is clicked, first of all, Steve would wave hello for 1 second. Okay. And then Spider-Man would wave hello for 1 second. And then Spider-Man will speak, hi, I am Spider-Man in English with a male voice. And then Spider-Man will ask us, how are you? All right, let's see how does this work. So when you click on the green play button, Minecraft waves hello, Spider-Man waves hello.
How are you?
So see, Spider-Man said, hi, I'm Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man asked us, how are you? And you can see there is this text bubble here. There is this input field that has appeared. That is, here we can give our reply. So if I say, I am good, and then press the send button here, the text bubble will disappear. Okay, so this block has ended here. Our code has ended. So nothing happened with our response. But whatever response I added, so I added that I am good, right? So that you see there is a sentence here, and store the response in this result variable. Okay, so whenever you use the ask block, a variable called result is created on its own, and whatever you type inside that text here, that gets stored in this result here. Okay, so what I can do is I'll show you. When you click on Steve here, let's make the Steve speak out our response. Okay, so what we will do is we'll just drag this Steve translate and speak block out again and attach it below here. Okay, so after Spider-Man asks how are you and stores the response in the result variable, we can make the Steve character speak not how are you. Okay, we can make the Steve character speak the result, whatever I entered as the input. So right click on this result block here and duplicate this result block, drag this out here. So Steve speak whatever the input I have given in English with a male voice. You can use the female voice, male voice, whatever you want. I'm going to use male voice for now. So now you see when I click on the green play button, Minecraft waves hello, Spider-Man waves hello.
How are you?
And here it says how are you and enter your text here. So I can say I am doing good and press enter.
I'm doing good.
Now you can see Steve here spoke out our input because we are saying Steve to speak the result that the user is entering. Okay, so this is how we are going to be making these two characters interact with each other. Okay, so first of all, let's just change this Spider-Man ask how are you to Spider-Man ask, are you ready for the Marvel comic comic quiz. Okay. And then we can say here, we can tell our users that they have to type yes to start. Okay. Now you see, when I click on the green play button here.
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start.
See, so Spider-Man is now asking, are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start. And I can say yes now. And I press enter.
Yes.
Steve will say yes. Okay, so we have made the basic interaction. Now let's add the quiz questions. Okay, let's add those questions and answers and make the characters speak out the questions and answers. Okay, so how do we do that? So first of all, what we are going to do is, I'm going to make a list of questions. So whenever you're building a quiz, the person who is building the quiz needs to have the questions ready for themselves, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to variables here and click on create a variable. And I'm going to make a list of questions. So I'm going to create a variable called questions. And then drag out the set variable questions block. Okay, so set variable questions. And here I'm going to create a list of questions. Okay, so to create a list of questions, what do? You go to the list and maps section here. And then we can drag out this create list with. See, there is this block here that says create list with. And then there are 3 empty sections here. So this list can contain 3 items. Okay, so let's drag this block out and place it here. Now, depends on how many questions you want for the quiz. I'm going to go with 5 questions. Okay, for now, I'm going to build a quiz with 5 questions. So how do I build that quiz with 5 questions? So you can see here, this list can contain only 3 items. If I want a quiz with 5 questions, so I want to have a list with 5 input spaces, right? 5 empty spaces. So to add 2 more empty spaces here, what can we do? We click on this settings button. Okay, click on the settings button, and then you see there is this item section in our list. So you can see the list contains 3 items. We can add more items here. See, I added 1 more item and I'm adding 1 more item. Now you can see my list has 5 item spaces. Okay, now if you click outside, this bubble disappears. Okay, so now I have this set variable questions to a list with 5 blank spaces. We have to fill these blank spaces with questions. So let's add the first question. So all of our questions are going to be text, okay, text strings. So how do we add text objects? Really simple. Click on this text category here, and then bring out this green block, okay, empty green block, and you can place it here in the first empty space. You can even duplicate this green block and place it in all of these empty spaces. So all these empty spaces are going to be containing 1 questions. Now you see I have 5 text string objects here. I can write the questions that I want for my quiz here. So let's start with the first question. So my first question is going to be, what is the real name of the first Spider-Man? Now you can have whatever quiz you want to build. Based on that, you can add whatever questions you want. I'm building a Marvel comic quiz, so I'm asking questions related to Marvel comics. You can build a quiz on math, you can build quiz on science, astronomy, physics, chemistry, biology. You can build a quiz on literature or basic general knowledge, current affairs, anything. Okay, so it's completely up to you, the topic that you want to choose for building your quiz. Okay, so my first question is, what is the real name of the first Spider-Man? Now you can see as I typed, this became a long field, right? Now if I keep on typing, this block is going to become longer and longer. I don't want that. So what I can do is, if you right click on your create list with, right click on this block, so you see there are some options here. We have never explored these options, right? We have only till now in most of our tutorials used this duplicate option. This duplicate option creates a copy of our block, right? But now let's try some other options. So right click on the create list with block. And here you will see there is this third option here that says external inputs. So what this does is, let me click on this external inputs and see. Now you see what happened was, rather than all the 5 text inputs being in a single line, it made them in a vertical, in a row like this. Okay. See, now if you right click on the create list with block, you get the external input block changed to inline input. So when you click on inline input, all the options are in one line. Okay. And if you right click again, you see it's changed back to external inputs. External inputs just places your inputs one after the other. So you don't end up having a really long block. You can have a wide block like this. Okay. So my first question was, what's the real name of first Spider-Man? Let's add the second question. So I'm just going to say, what is the name of Thor's hammer? And you see, and anytime I type capital T here, it brings out this extra text block. You can keep on deleting those. They are not going to be useful right now. And then whatever questions you want, you can just write those here. So I'm just going to write, what is the name of Wanda Maximoff's father? Maximoff's father. Wanda Maximoff is a Marvel comic book character. Her father's name is Magneto. Now let me just add another question here called, what is 1 plus 1? Okay, this is an easy question, just a random maths question in between our quiz. And what I can do is, let me just add another question called, what is 0 divided by 25? Or let me just add a different question. So what is, actually I can't think of a Marvel question right now. Yeah, let's just go with, what is 5 multiplied by 7? Okay, simple maths question here. Cool. So I have these 5 questions. Okay, now that we have our questions, we also need for our computer to know the right answers to these questions. Okay, so what we will do is, we are going to go to our variable section and click on create a variable, and we are going to create a list of all the right answers. So we are going to create a variable called answers. Okay, this is only for our computer to know. Our player will not know the right answers, but our computer will know the right answers. So create this variable called answers, and we can just, this set variable questions block, we can just right click on this and duplicate this set variables question block. Okay, now here change the questions to answers. So since the question block is a list of 5 questions, the answer block is also going to be a list of answers to these 5 questions. So set variable answer to, and in the same order in which the questions are, you have to write the answers in the correct order. So the first question was, what is the real name of first Spider-Man? So I'm going to say the first answer is going to be Peter Parker. Okay. Second question is, what is the name of Thor's hammer? So the second question's answer is Mjolnir. M-J-O-L-N-I-R. Okay. Now the third question was, what's the name of Wanda Maximoff's father? That is Magneto. M-A-G-N-E-T-O. Now fourth question is, what is 1 plus 1? That's 2. So the fourth answer will be 2. And the fifth question is, what is 5 multiplied by 7? So the fifth answer is going to be 35. Okay. So we have 5 questions and we have the 5 answers now. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to learn about functions. Okay. Let's, there is this random number block here. Let's delete that. We are going to learn something about functions now. So functions, I'll tell you what a function is, but see, we have our questions ready and we have our answers ready. So now we have this when green play button click, Steve asks wave hello. Steve is going to wave hello, Spider-Man is going to wave hello. Then Spider-Man will introduce himself and ask us, are we ready for the quiz? Type yes to answer. and then we can say Steve speak the result. Okay, so what we are going to do is, if the answer is yes, okay, if our answer is yes, then we will start the quiz. Okay, so here Steve will speak out the result, and then let's go to our logic section here. Okay, logic, and bring out this if block. So after Steve has spoken whatever we input, yes or no, if we have entered yes, if Steve speaks yes, basically if the result is equal to yes, okay, now let's go to our logic section again and drag out this equal to block, okay, and place it here. Now duplicate the result block and place it here. So if the result is equal to yes, okay, so go to the text option, and here we are going to say yes. Okay, if I have entered yes, if the result is yes, then we are going to make our Spider-Man ask us our first question from here. Okay, so we are going to make our Spider-Man ask us the first question. We'll see how we'll do that, but for now, actually let's go through it. So we're going to, as I said, we're going to be building a function. What does a function does? There is this, you see, if you scroll down on in this top section here, the very last category is functions. Okay, so functions is basically the use of functions is you can group a lot of blocks into one function, and basically, let's say you want your Spider-Man to wave hello, or you want some activity to be performed again and again, but not one after the other. So we have this loops here, right? We have loops. And what does a loop do? A loop will repeat a set of blocks again and again, one after the other. Yeah. So let's say if we say Minecraft avatar should wave hello 10 times, like inside this repeat 10 times, if we say Minecraft avatar wave hello, then what will happen? Our Steve character will keep on waving hello 10 times, one after the other. It will not stop waving hello. Only after the 10 times has completed, then my Minecraft will stop waving hello, right? So that is when we want some activity to happen again and again, multiple times, one after the other. Okay, but let's say we want certain activities in our game, like the Spider-Man asking question to us. We want that to happen again and again, but we don't want it to happen one after the other, right? Because when you were when you saw the final output of our quiz, you saw that the Spider-Man asked us the question, and then a lot of things happened. I entered the answer, and then our code was checking whether our answer is correct or not. And if the answer was correct, my Spider-Man told me that my answer is correct. If my answer is wrong, then the Spider-Man will tell us if the answer is wrong. And after everything has happened, then the Spider-Man will ask us the next question. Okay, so what is happening is we cannot use loops here. This will not work with loops. Okay, so we're going to create a function. A function is basically a set of activities grouped together. Okay, and then you can perform that activity by calling the function name. So let's see how that works. Go to your functions option here and bring out this create function hello world block. Okay, and first of all, we can give our function a name. A function is a set of activities. So whatever you want to call that set of activities together, we are going to name that function with that name. So this function is basically going to make us ask questions. So I'm going to call this function ask question. Okay, and what we will do is, now you will see when you go to your functions option again, you see there is a new blue block called ask question. Okay, so we are going to be using this block here. If the result, if the very first thing the Spider-Man asks us is, are we ready for the quiz? Type yes to start the quiz, right? So if the result is yes, then we will make the Spider-Man ask a question to us. Okay, And what will happen in the ask question block is whatever you have written here in this ask question block. Okay, so what should happen when Spiderman asks question? We go to a Spiderman and scroll down here and bring out this Spiderman ask block, right? So this. So if okay, let's just attach this Spiderman ask hello, ask how are you. Okay. So now you see what's happening is when I click on the green play button, Steve wave hello, Spiderman wave hello, Spiderman speak, Spiderman ask us, are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to answer. And Steve will speak the result, whether it's yes or no. If the result is yes, then we have that ask question here, right? And what is written inside ask question block? It says Spiderman will ask us, how are you currently? So this ask question will make the Spiderman say this block run. Okay, so Spiderman will ask us, how are you? We don't want Spiderman to ask us, how are you? We want Spiderman to ask the very first question here. So first of all, like once the Spiderman even has asked the very first question, if depending on our answer is right or wrong, after that we want the Spiderman to go to the next question, right? And then the third question, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. So we need a variable to keep track of which question Spiderman needs to ask. Okay, so we are going to create a variable and call it question number. Question underscore number. Okay, and at the beginning of our game, we are going to say set the variable question number to 0. So go to math and drag out the 0 block. Now one thing I want to emphasize here is you see this list here. List has 5 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But our computer does not start counting from 1. So in our list, the very first question, the question number for that is 0. The second question has the question number of 1. Okay. The third question has the question number of 2. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So 0 is the first number here. Okay. And then 1 is the second position. 2 is the third position. 3 is the fourth position here. Okay. And so on. So our computer starts counting the elements in a list from 0, not from 1. So this is the 0th position. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And similarly for our answers, this is the 0. And this is 1. This is 2. This is 3 and this is 4. Okay. So now here, let's drag this up. What is going to happen in our ask question activity, ask question function? So whenever we are saying that ask question will run, we want Spiderman to ask one of the questions from here, depending on what question number we are in. Okay. So what we will do is Spiderman should ask not how are you. Okay. Spiderman should ask the question, one of the questions from this list based on the question number we are in. Okay. So how do we get that? You go to the list and maps category again on the left side. And this time we are going to bring out this block here that says get from start. Okay. So what does this block do is this block will help you find out one of the questions from a specified list, one of the element of a list. Okay. Which list that you can define in this drop down here. So in the list, in which list? In the questions list. In list questions, get from start some element. Okay. So the position, you have to define the position of the number. So we have to define question number here. Go to your variables, go to question number and attach it here. So now this says in the list of questions, get from start, whatever value the question number is, the question number variable is, in that value, whatever text is, right? There are 5 text values here. What is the real name? What is the name? What is the name? What is 1 plus 1? What is 5 times 7? So there are 5 text questions. Now, whatever question number name value is, so question number is currently 0. Okay. So what this block will do in the beginning of our game is from the questions list, it will get from the start, the question, the element that has the value 0, that has a position 0. So the first question is at the position 0. So it will ask, this will bring out the very first question from the questions list. Okay. And we are going to make the Spider-Man ask us this question. Spider-Man will ask us from the list of questions, whatever question number we are in, that question. Okay. And then again, the response is stored in result. Okay. So Spider-Man asks in list questions. So let's see if this is working or not. Click on the, expand your game here. And now, see, when I click on the green play button, wave hello, they will wave hello.
Hi, I am Spider-Man.
Ask.
Are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start.
So now I have to type yes or no here. So if I type yes, see, look at the block here. This is, so we are at this position right now. My Spider-Man asked us whether we are ready for the quiz, type yes to answer. Once I type yes here, Steve will speak whatever I am typing here. So if I type no, Steve will speak no and nothing will happen. So let me type no for now.
No.
Yeah. So see, after it said no, nothing else happened in the game, because we are saying if the result is yes, then the Spider-Man will ask the question. Okay. So I typed no, and because no, we are saying nothing should happen. If I have not typed yes, then that's why nothing is happening in the game. So let's run this again.
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start.
Now I'm going to type yes here. So once I type yes, Spider-Man should ask us the very first question. Okay, the very first question, because the question number is 0. So let's see if I type yes.
Yes. What is the real name of the first Spider-Man?
See, Spider-Man just asked me my very first question of this quiz. Okay, that was easy. Now we can type whatever we want here and nothing will happen in the game, because we have not written the code for what happens after Spider-Man asks us the question. Okay, so once Spider-Man asks us the question, what should we do? We'll first make Steve say out the answer that we are writing. So we will make Steve here speak. Okay, Steve should speak what? Steve should speak the result that I have entered. Okay, and in English, in a male voice for now. So Steve should speak the result that I have written in the English accent with a male voice. Once Steve speaks the result, then what we are going to do is we are going to cross check whether the result that I entered is same as the result stored in our answers list or not. Okay, so if I have entered Peter Parker, that means the answer is correct. If I have written something else, then the answer is wrong. Okay, so what we will do is we are going to use the if else statement. So we'll go to our logics category in the top section here and bring out the if block. So if what? If the result, okay, if that result so is equal to, so just like we brought out the first element from whatever question number we are asking the question of, that same answer needs to be cross-checked. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our logic section and drag out the equal to block first of all. And then duplicate the result block from here and add it here. So if the result is equal to what? If the result is equal to, so see, when the question number is 0, so what is the question in the 0th place? It's what is the real name of Spider-Man, and what is the answer in the 0th place? Peter Parker. So question number is also indicating the answer for the right answer of the position of the right answer for the question, right? So the first question has the first answer here. The second question has the second answer here. So when question number will be 1, that means this question will be asked, and we have to then check with this answer here, right? So just like this in list questions get from start the text with the text at the position of the question number value, similarly we have to cross check our result with the answers, with the text in the answer list. Okay, So duplicate this in list questions block, this pink block here, duplicate this, okay? But here we have to make a change now. We don't have to check the answer we have to check the answer in the answers list, right? So we have to get the text now from the answers list. So in the list of answers, get from start the same question, the answer of the same question number. Okay, so now place it here. If the result is equal to the answer in this list of the same question number, so question number 0 is what is the real name of first Spider-Man. So answer number 0 is Peter Parker. Okay, so if list is equal to in list of answers, get from start the answer at the value of the same question number, then I will make my Spider-Man say right answer. Okay, so I'll make my Spider-Man speak out right answer. Okay, in the English accent, in the female voice. Okay, and if the answer is wrong, then what should happen? So if the result that you have entered is not equal to the answer that is written in this list, then so click on this settings option here in the if else statement, and you see there is a block called else. So here the answer can be right or wrong, there is no other option. So if or else, if the result is equal to the answer, then you have written right answer, otherwise the answer will be wrong, obviously. So else, what should we do? We'll make Spider-Man say wrong answer. But then let's also make Spider-Man speak out the right answer of the question. So we will say, duplicate the speak block now and say the right answer is, and then what we need to do is we need to make our Spider-Man say this, whatever text is in this is coming from this block, right? This is basically the right answer. That is why we are checking it with the result that you have entered. Okay, so what we will do is we're just going to join the two texts. So this is also a text. This is this block in list of answers, get the position of the answer at the same question number, right? So this is basically one of these 5 text strings. So this text string is going to be joined with the right answer is. So the right answer is space this string, and this string needs to be joined together, and then my Spider-Man will have to say this. So to join two strings, we know we can use the join block from the text category here. Go to your text category and then bring out this join block. Place it here, and then first the very first space is going to be filled with the right answer is, and then the second place is going to be spoken by it's going to say the string of the correct answer. Okay, so this block will now make the Spider-Man speak out the correct answer. Okay, so once this has happened, let's see if this is working or not. Okay, so click on the green play button. I'm typing yes.
Yes. What is the real name of the first Spider-Man?
Let me say, I'm going to type a wrong answer right now. So I'm just typing a random thing and I'm pressing enter.
Fab jump age. Wrong answer. The right answer is Peter Parker.
See? So now what happened was, because whatever I wrote here after Spider-Man asked me my question was stored in the result variable, right? So Steve spoke out the result, but the result was not equal to Peter Parker. Yeah, the result was not equal to the answer at the position of 0. That was Peter Parker. So this did not happen. This happened. This happened. So Spider-Man said wrong answer, and then Spider-Man said the right answer is, and it spoke the right answer from this block with the use of this block. Okay, just get the element at the position of the question number. So get the element at the 0 place of the answers list. That was Peter Parker. So it said the right answer is, and then it found out in the 0th place of the answers list, the text was called Peter Parker. So Spider-Man spoke out, the right answer is Peter Parker. Okay. So once the Spider-Man has told us whether our answer is right or wrong, what do we need to do? We need to move to the next question. So all we need to do is we can just then do what? Spider-Man needs to ask the next question, right? So to ask, whenever Spider-Man is going to ask a question, it's basically just going to run the entire ask question block again. Everything that we have written here should be performed again, right? So what we can do now you'll see the use of the function block. So all we can do is, see, our question number was 0. So Spider-Man asked me the first question. Yeah. Now, once the Spider-Man has told me whether my answer is right or wrong, then what we can do is we can increase the question number value, and then we can run the entire ask question function again as it is. So let's see. I'll go to my variable section, bring out this set variable block. Sorry, not set variable, my mistake. Go to your variable section, bring out the change block, this change, and not list, change question number. So increase the question number by 1. Go to the next question number. Yeah. Place it at the bottom here. Okay. Change question number by 1. And then what? And then go to your functions option, and we can just tell our Spider-Man to perform the same activity of ask question again. So change the question number by 1 and ask the question again. Ask the question again. But this time, because my question number has increased, it will ask me the next question. And then after that, it will ask me the next question, and so on. Okay, let's see if this works or not. These two blocks will now make our Spider-Man ask us all the 5 questions from our list. So let's see, it should work. Click on the green play button.
Hi, I am Spider-Man.
It asks me whether we are ready for the quiz. I'm going to say yes.
Yes. What is the real name of the first Spider-Man?
So now I'm going to say Peter Parker. Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Right answer.
What is the name of Thor's hammer?
See, now it increased the question number by 1. So question number became, initially question number was 0, right? So then question number became 1. Okay. And once question number has become 1, we are telling our computer to ask the question again. And what does ask question this block is doing? This is making this entire code run again. Okay. So this code now tells our Spider-Man to ask me the question from the questions list at the position of the question number. But now question number is what? Is 1. So we know that this position was 0 and this is the position 1. So in position 1, what is the question? What is the name of Thor's hammer? So you can see Spider-Man is asking, what is the name of Thor's hammer? Now if I say the wrong answer here, again, type anything. Let's give it a wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
So see, it says the right answer is Mjolnir. Right? Cool. So that worked. So now let's I'm just going to reload this. And now what we are going to do is so you can go through the entire quiz like that, but we have to make one change here. Okay. So we only have 5 questions in our game. Actually, let me show you the entire quiz.
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start. What is the real name of the first Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Right answer. What is the name of Thor's hammer? Mjolnir. Right answer. What is the name
So next question. Now if I say Magneto, right answer. What is 1 plus 1? If I say 5, wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
The right answer is 2.
What 5
See?
times 7?
Now it's asking me the last question. This is what I wanted to show you. What happens when our code reaches the last question? So now, if I say 35 here, this will again tell me the right, if I say 35, it will tell me that I have written the right answer. Or if I don't say 35, then it will tell me that I have written a wrong answer. So let me write 35.
35. Right answer. Undefined.
Yeah. So now see, the moment I said I wrote the last answer, after that, what's happening is this change question number is still increasing. So question number does not know that question number has, our code does not know that we only have 5 questions in our list right now. So what's happening is question number was going from 0 to 1. Okay. Initially question number was 0. So it asked me the first question. Then question number was 1. Then it was 2. Then it was 3. And then it was 4. After this, question number became 5. This block is still running. So question number became 5. And now you see there is no question number. There is no question. The list has ended. So there is no question. So what is happening is Spiderman is asking undefined because we are still telling our code to keep on asking questions. Okay. What we have to do here is we have to just add a small if condition so that we don't make the question number go beyond 5. Okay. So let's reload the game here. And here, what we will do is just after changing the question number, we are going to add an if condition. Go to your logic section, go to your if condition, and we'll drag out this ask question block, okay, and place this if block here. Okay, so we'll say if the question number is less than 5, okay, then ask the question. Okay, so go to your logic again and drag out this equal to block, and now click on the drop down here and say less than. Okay, and go to your variables category, bring out question number. We have to ask a question. When do we have to ask a question? If the question number is less than 5. Okay, so go to your math, drag out a number block, say 5 here. So if the question number is less than 5, then ask question, then ask the next question basically. Okay, if the question number is greater than 5 or greater than or equal to 5, then what should happen? So we drag out another else here. Okay, so click on the settings and drag out this else option from here. So if the question number is less than 5, then my game will keep on asking questions. Okay, but the moment question number becomes equal to 5 or equal to 5, then what will happen is we can just make our Spiderman speak, congratulations, you did great, and we can end our quiz with that. Okay, so now you will see that if you run your game,
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to start.
yes,
Yes. What is the real name of the first Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Right answer. What is the name of Thor's hammer?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Right answer. What is the name of Wanda
Magneto.
Magneto. Right answer. What is 1-1?
2.
2. Right answer. What 5 times 7?
What's 5 times 7? 3, 5, 35. Now, this is our last question, right? So now when I press enter or when I click on send here,
35. Right answer.
see, so now after increasing the question number, it is not asking me another question because it knows that there are no more questions. So it's now just saying Spider-Man speak, congratulations, you did great. And that is done. So you see, really easy, and our quiz is done. Okay, there is a small modification that we can do here. I'll show you what. So I'll show you something different. I'll show you in our this section here, in our when green play button click, we are saying if the result is equal to yes. When the Spider-Man asks us, are we ready for the Marvel comic quiz? Type yes to answer. You see, we are saying that if the result is equal to yes. There is a small flaw with this. Let's see what the flaw is. So when you click on the green play button,
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic?
here,
Type yes to start.
so what's happening is we are checking our result with this string here, right? YES. What happens when I type YES in all capital? YES. I'm still typing yes, okay? But what's happening is this will not ask the question.
Yes.
See, Spider-Man is not asking me any questions. That is because we are checking capital YES with small YES here. And our computer considers capital alphabets as separate characters from small alphabets. Okay. So one thing that we need to do to match our result with the inputs that we have provided is ensure that the result, even if the user, even if the player is entering everything in capital letters, from our side we have to turn everything from the user's input to small caps. Okay, and that is a very simple fix that we can do here. You go to your text option and you see there is a block called to uppercase. See, uppercase means all caps, and then it says ABC. I'm going to delete this ABC from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to and then lowercase. Okay, because we are checking like YES is all of them are small caps, are lowercase. And you see all of our answers here are also in the lowercase. So we need to ensure that before we check whether the answer is right or wrong, or whether the user has entered yes, we are going to convert the result to lowercase. Okay, and then check whether this is equal to yes or not. Okay, and similarly here, where we are checking if the result is equal to the correct answer or not, we should not be doing this. Why? Because here, if somebody were to type Peter Parker or Mjolnir or Magneto in capital letters, then also the code will consider that as a wrong answer. And we want our code to be smart. And so to make our code smart, we need to ensure that even if the player, anybody who is playing your game, even if they are entering the answer in all capital letters, we convert them to small letters from our side. So here in our ask question function, where we say if result is equal to whatever the right answer is, we should not check that directly. We should first convert this result to all lowercase. So again, go to your text, bring out this to uppercase block, change it to lowercase, delete this ABC from here, and drag out the result, and now place it here. So if the result in all of its lowercase characters is equal to whatever answer we have stored here, then the Spider-Man will say it's the right answer. So now even if the player is writing their answer in all capital letters, the answers will still be considered as correct answers. Okay, so this is slightly smarter code than what we had earlier. Okay, now our characters are more smarter in terms of understanding what we are writing. So when you run the code now,
Hi, I am Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Marvel comic?
now see, even I'll show you, even if I type small y, capital E and small s, this will also be considered as correct input by our computer. Our Spider-Man will ask questions even if I type it like this.
Yes. What is the real
See, now even if here I type like I mix my characters in small and capital letters like this, you see,
right answer?
my computer considers that as the right answer. Okay, so though that's the right answer, it's just a mix of capital and small letters, but the answer is still right. So our code is much smarter now compared in terms of how to interpret results from a user. Okay, so cool. we have completed our quiz game. You guys can build, you guys can have more questions. So I have just built this quiz with 5 questions. You guys can have more questions, more answers, and then all you need to do is here just add the limit of, because I knew that my question number is just going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So question number has to be less than 5. But if you have, let's say, 10 questions, so you will write 10. So if question number becomes larger than 10, then the quiz will be considered, right? Quiz will be considered as completed. And you can ask any other questions rather than Marvel Comic Quiz. You can have any different question. You can have different answers, and then build your quiz for that. Okay. So the purpose of this tutorial was for me to show you guys how to add 3D characters and how to make them interact with each other, and how to make a player interact with some 3D characters using the ask block. The ask block is very useful. Also, you will see ask block has this microphone button. So you can even speak out the answer from your side. Let me show you. So Mjolnir is slightly difficult for computers to understand. So I'm just going to go ahead with that. Here, see, so Spider-Man is asking, what is the name of Wanda Maximoff's father? I press the mic here, Magneto. See, whatever I spoke was written here. The microphone helps you just dictate your inputs. Now if you press enter, see, simple. So you can, yeah, go ahead with that and build your own smart quiz. Okay, so I'm going to complete the quiz here, and you did great. Awesome. So you guys can publish your project, share your projects with me in the comments, and I would like to go through whatever you guys are building. And next week again, we are going to be there with a new tutorial video. So stay tuned for that. All right. See you guys in the next session. Bye-bye.